been here before. That is, without Steph in the playoffs. They're 9-3 all-time in postseason games that he's missed. But, of course, all 12 of those came in 2016 and 2018 when the team was a juggernaut. There's no Kevin Durant or prime Klay Thompson walking through the door. Our own young Masuk is in Minnesota covering the Golden State Warriors. And a little bit of a surprise. Players don't always speak after they're injured. Steph Curry did earlier today, What did we learn?
Malika, Stephen Curry said this morning that he isn't sure how long it will take him to recover from his grade 1 strained left hamstring because he's never had a hamstring injury before. Curry knows he has to be careful that he cannot rush back. He said he understands that hamstring injuries can be tricky and how it can fool you into thinking you're ready to return. Curry, though, talked about how Game 1 shows that the Warriors might be able to give him enough time to recover.
No, they talked to me, which is the great vibe in our locker room in terms of, them trying to hold the fort down. No, they talked to me, which is the great vibe in our locker room in terms of, them trying to hold the fort down. We have a lot of confidence that we can, still win the series and, gotta step up no matter how it looks. And it's obviously a situation where you want to think positively and optimistically that we can win games and buy me some time to get back. They understand the task. We all are in it together, and I love the feedback I got from my guys of understanding what the challenge is.
I asked Steph, what is the bar that he has to clear before returning? Curry said he didn't know because this is the first time he's been dealing with a hamstring injury. He's been out in the playoffs before due to injury, but he's 37 now, and he called this a gut punch because he doesn't know how many more opportunities he will have for a deep playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was speaking with Steph earlier this year, he says that he doesn't know when the end of the road is going to be, but he knows he's closer to it than to the starting point. And this Golden State Warriors team, the all-time greats, they get up for these sorts of opportunities. We really appreciate the reporting. The Stephless Warriors, they're going to be put to the test tonight. And I know who we should call with the answers to that test. There's no one who is better at breaking down tape than Shanae.
Roll the tape. Oh, snap. This is my sister squad. I have something up my sleeve.
Big Cali energy here at the Intuit Dome. We have a big cheat sheet on the Jumbotron.
The biggest cheat sheet ever. Look at that finish. Turnaround 360. She has been balling. They ain't settling. Texas stays winning.
Let me talk nerdy to you. Without Steph Curry the next few games, the Golden State Warriors are truly the underdogs, but I would not count them out just yet. Different jersey, but same playoff Jimmy. Let's take last game, for example. Between scoring or assisting, Jimmy Butler accounted for all 100% of the Warriors' fourth quarter points versus the T-Wolves. And I'll show you, it's not just scoring. He had 20 on the night. It was his assists. He had 8 assists. Now watch this. He's so good drawing too. This time he has a good matchup defensively for the T-Wolves and Jaden McDaniels. He attacks the baseline, draws Naz Reid, and gets it to Kuminga. Necessary buckets for Kuminga. Again, on this possession, it's Naz guarding him, which means he's going to try to go off the dribble and draw 2. This time from the top of the key, he has great vision, finds GP2. I think he had 2 threes on the night. So he was straight up facilitating. And this last play right here, I love this because this is a double drag screen across the top of the key for him to score. Naz is low, but it doesn't matter. He's going to draw him out. Anytime a player draws out, that means he's going to attack. Great vision to Buddy Hield to be able to knock down the 3. So it's not just scoring, it's assisting, and he will have to do that all in his bag. Now, Jimmy has been a huge boost in the Warriors' biggest weakness, the non-Steph minutes. They have outscored their opponents by 97 points when Steph was on the bench and Jimmy was on the floor. For context, before the trade, they were minus 91 when Steph was resting. So if Golden State can steal another game, it will be behind this man. I guess we can call him Batman.
But it does still feel like an enormous task, right, Shanae, without Steph Curry? Curry to be able to get this done, especially because I fully expect this Timberwolves team to be firing on all cylinders. It was a gut punch for them in Game 1. What can the Warriors do here? How can they stay in this, Danny?
I don't think there is much. It's hard for them. They just, without
Danny's
Steph.
Just a ray of sunshine today.
Sorry, today. These teams, these injuries are really killing the playoffs, and it sucks to see Steph out right now. But the Warriors team, Jimmy is a great player, and he can turn it up a notch. But this Minnesota team is no slouch either. You saw what they did against the Lakers. When Ant-Man's playing, I don't see them shooting that poorly again. They're going to shoot better. And for Golden State to win a game, they have to win 1 out of 3. They have to play extremely well, all hands on deck. From Pat Spencer to Kuminga to anybody else who comes off that bench, they have to score. And Gary Payton II, everybody has to give a huge boost, and I just don't see that happen.
I feel like if we're making this bite-sized, Perk, the Warriors, they just have to win 1 out of their next 4 games. That would make it a 2-2 series. How can they achieve that?
Well, first of all, I love bite size.
So how big are your bites?
Number two, Danny, I disagree with you, okay? The playoffs has been one of the greatest postseasons that I've seen in the last 5 years. I understand the injuries, but they still been phenomenal. Number 3, all eyes on Buddy Hield for me. Is he averaging, 27 points over the last 2 games?
Yes.
Now all of a sudden the third defender who's been guarding him because you are playing alongside Steph and Jimmy, now you get the primary defender, which is going to be Jaden McDaniels, 6'9", long arms, can scratch his ankles while standing straight up. That's the defender that you're going to get. Can you get those? Can you still get that 20+ or even 20+ points with a game plan around you? That's what I'm going to be looking at, because if they're going to win a game while Steph is out, yes, Jimmy, the point forward, playoff Jimmy, he has to come alive, but he got to have a Robin. Right now, that Robin has to be Buddy Hield when you're looking at it from a scoring standpoint.
And to answer your question, Perk, the answer is no. I just don't see him doing that. With the primary defender like Jaden McDaniels on him, he might have one decent night, but 27 a night, it's not happening.
And I think it's also hard when you think, okay, will Draymond Green shoot better? Like, starting
than
the
he
game.
did in Game 1?
That's my point. So, like, you're playing the law of averages,
right,
which makes it a little bit more difficult.
I think we saw this. We talked about this on the prep call earlier. We saw what happened when, the third best defender, everything switches around. We saw it for the Los Angeles Lakers when Austin Reeves all of a sudden had the Timberwolves' third best defender on him, which is a better third best defender than on any other team. Things start to get real serious real quick. And Minnesota, they're going to clamp down here because they're hoping to avoid being the third. Things into their own hands, justice into their own hands. What should we expect from Minnesota tonight, Dave?
Yeah, Malika, to borrow a word from Chiney, he was vehement about how much he felt like the Warriors were playing outside the lines, basically making illegal contact that wasn't seen by the referees. And really, it's getting to the issue of the rebounding. The Warriors won the boards battle 51-41 in Game 1, and they had 18 offensive rebounds, which led to open kickouts to guys like Buddy Hield. When you look at the stat sheet and you see that Buddy Hield and Brandon Podziemski combined for 16 rebounds, and Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid combined for 12. That's a problem for the Wolves. Now, obviously, it's not just going to be the referees and the officiating to try to get them back into this thing. Dante DiVincenzo told me that they had a full accountability film session yesterday where no one was safe in that room, and the result of it was people like Jaden McDaniels saying, we don't need to worry about the refs, I need to do better and get more than 4 rebounds myself.
And that is resulting in them saying, you know what, tonight that we're not going to leave it up to the fate of the referees. Dave McMenamin, thank you so very much for stopping by NBA Today. Perk, with that as the backdrop, what do you want to see from the Timberwolves tonight? What you smiling about?
Hold on.
Get him, Perk.
Did he say Ruley getting tackled and he's getting beaten? Like, man, what?
This is a crime scene.
Man, stop it. This is what it's about, man. You in the trenches. You 7'2". You down there battling, they disrespecting you, they putting smaller guards on you. Get them elbows up. You know what I mean? All it takes is 1 through the 10, a shoulder in the chin that stops all that. Get physical with them. What else you supposed to do? You know what they teach in film room when you get in the postseason and your big goes to help, or you have a smaller guy on the big? They teach you, they say, get into the fight. Get into his legs. By no means should he be able to get a rebound. You better box out. You better do everything that you need to do. All bets are off. You at war right now. What is Coach Finch talking about? He tripping.
Perk, cool booty for a second, okay? Don't we know as post players?
It's war.
Thank you.
Don't we know as post players? This is what Coach Finch